Today I want to talk about one of the biggest news things in gaming that we have today, and that is that counterfeit memory is now available for download on the App Store and will soon be available on the Google Play Store whenever Google decides to approve it. Free for a limited time. Just ask Siri for counterfeit memory on the App Store and it will tell you, hey, here it is, send you to the link, and you can be on your very way to download it and all that stuff. So I'm launching this game fully. The full version will be launching on November 6th, but everyone who downloads the demo will get updated and upgraded to the full version when it's released on November 6th. But today we are not talking about me and my self-promotion for my game. Today we are talking about xCloud and iOS, because after all this time, Microsoft is finally bringing xCloud to iOS. I say that sarcastically because Apple has been blocking it pretty much every step of the way. Every step of the way, they've been blocking this technology to run, which is why when it was beta tested, it only worked with Halo Master Chief Collection. The article goes, Microsoft is working on a direct browser-based solution to bring xCloud to iOS early next year. Sources familiar with Microsoft's plans tell The Verge that the company has been developing a web version of xCloud to run on iOS and iPad OS devices, alongside continuing to work on an app in the hopes that it will eventually run on Apple's platform. There's a lot of companies that got an app ready to go, ready to give you cloud gaming on iOS, and Apple's just not allowing it at this point. So the solution for now is, while they're trying to figure out how to get on the App Store in a way that isn't just insane, but we have 100 games. Like, what if Microsoft goes into 1,000 games? Just the whole Xbox catalog is available via Game Pass. Apple knows it's a ridiculous notion to ask that you make the same app that's 99.9, it's like the germ thing, the 99.99%, killing of germs. This is the 99.99% of the same app. The only difference is one line of code saying, launch this game, launch this game, launch this game, and you're gonna make over 100 apps that just say launch this game, right? It's bonkers. So until they can actually fix that solution, the web is the solution. But the problem with the web is that it's not a free-for-all. Microsoft just can't be like, well, we have the Edge web browser, let's just put that on iOS and then, it works. You can download it on there. It doesn't really work that way because Apple controls the web on iOS. When you make a web browsing app, it has to run on Apple technology. You are not allowed to use your own technology. Now, there are certain exceptions. I think in terms of like data saving or cloud-based solutions, you can make your own web browser because it's a cloud-based solution that's not writing natively on the iPhone. But if it runs natively on the iPhone, if Chrome runs on the iPhone, it has to be the Safari version with a Chrome skin on top. And that's every web browser. So, for example, right, we have the i500 game, and you can see it's running on iOS. Now we compare that to iOS 13, so this is like the latest version of iOS 13, and it just doesn't run. It just doesn't run. It gives me an error that says call indirect to a null table entry evaluating module ASM GI apply null arguments. So you get bugs on here that you don't get on iOS 14, but that just means that Apple, if one time they're just like, you know what, there's this one thing that makes your game run, that makes this whole thing work, what if we just took that out? What if we just took this controller input? There's not a lot of browser-based apps that work it. It's not going to affect things, but it might affect you. And that is the worry, that Apple will do something like that, that if they were doing it on a native app, there would be a lot of things using it, but there's not a lot of the technologies being used with web apps for most things at this point. And I can say this, I'm not worried about losing counterfeit memory on iOS. I'm not worried about Apple seeing this video and like, I wonder what app this guy made, I wonder what app he made and take it down because I said something negative. I think I'm fine. There's nothing there. If anything, Apple's going to take away my app next week. They're not going to take it down this week. They'll take it down next week. But I am concerned that Apple could do something in the future that just kind of, just makes it stop working. Just find some other way to, for whatever reason it is. But that's the story. I'm just going to leave it at that. Here are my thoughts as someone who has made web games, I guess, technically on iOS and native apps, and here to tell you what's up.